1979, the year that Alien was released in the cinema. It was a year of Apocalypse Now, Mad Max, Rocky II, The China Syndrome, The Amityville Horror, and Moonraker. Oh, I didn't see any of those. 1979 was a year I saw one film, and that was the Muppet Movie. G'day, Dogman here. Welcome to another episode of My Cinema Experience, where we're going to talk about my cinema experience, and that is for the year of 1979. Can you imagine that? I'd seen Star Wars. I was on a high for months afterwards, having seen Star Wars at the cinema as a 6-year-old, and then a cinematic drought. There was only one film I saw for the whole year, and that was the Muppet Movie. So I have to admit, as a 7-year-old, the Muppets are pretty cool. They are good for a laugh, and I appreciated the art form of puppeteering. I'd seen the TV show. It's the Muppet Show.
It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest star, Miss Juliet Prowse.
Where...
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
They're in a theatre house with the red curtains swishing.
Hey, have I got an opening joke for you tonight? You're gonna love this. It's too good. Do it.
And you got the two old guys sitting up in the box making a mockery of the whole thing.
The question is, what is a phenomenon?
The question is, who cares?
You got the band with Animal on the drums. And they'd go through a series of skits and have stars on there. There was, I can remember Mark Hamill was on there, who I was a fan of from Star Wars. So, of course, I'm going to be watching the Muppet Show on TV. But then it came the Muppet Movie. And it was something quite fresh to see these. It was like a backstory. It was like the prequel. How did they get to be running the Muppet Show? And so I remember seeing the opening scene, Kermit sitting in a swamp singing on his banjo, I think it was, The Rainbow Connection. And that's where it all began. And we follow Kermit as he travels through America, meeting up with other Muppets.
They don't look like Presbyterians to me.
And I think their dream was to find success in Hollywood. So I did a rewatch in 2023 because I could remember little snippets from, my 7-year-old memory. I remember that scene in the swamp. I remember him riding a bike, Kermit riding a bike. They met Big Bird.
Hey there, want a lift? Oh, no thanks. I'm on my way to New York City to try to break into public television.
Good luck.
But ultimately, it's pretty vague. It didn't have the same impact as, say, Star Wars, where it was etched into my memory. So I did a rewatch, and one thing I realised was that the art form of puppetry, the little hand puppets, it's largely died in the world for cinematic purposes. So even Frank Oz, who did Yoda, who is also Miss Piggy in the Muppet Movie, and I think Fozzie the Bear is also Frank Oz, who does Yoda. So Yoda started off as a hand puppet, but by the later movies, Yoda becomes a CGI, a computer-generated image, which gives him more expression, but also takes away that sort of reality. I guess in this day and age, people would look at, I think Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back still holds up pretty well, but people expect more, and they go for this CGI effects more than actual puppets. Then you've got, of course, the Mandalorian that has the little baby Yoda, which isn't a puppet. Looks like it's a robot, but they've realized there's something in that not having a CGI, something real, something tangible. It works really well. So overall, the movie's well done. I like the jokes, pretty funny.
I'm Stetler.
I'm Waldorf. We're here to heckle a Muppet movie.
Gentlemen, that's straight ahead. Private screening, room D.
Private screening?
Yeah, they're afraid to show it in public.
Oh!
It's got a good humor that kids can get something out of, and the adults as well. I thought the screenplay was well done. Now, the opening credits are over a rainbow, back when rainbows were rainbows. And it starts off with this aerial shot. It must have been a helicopter shot over the swamp. That seems ahead of its time. Like, this is, these days they use drones and you see it all the time. But back then, having this long zoom in to the swamp from the aerial, it's a beautiful shot. Great cinematography. So this would have been the first time that I'd seen such a shot on the big screen. This big helicopter flyover, zoom in, beautiful, beautiful. And it's just iconic seeing Kermit playing the guitar, playing the banjo, in the swamp. So I think the movie holds up pretty well. If you're looking for a good movie that you can enjoy with your kids that's not CGI, try the Muppet Movie. It's essentially a musical road movie, road trip, and a good ensemble cast. You've got a cameo there by Steve Martin. More than a cameo, it's a little part.
Don't you want to smell the bottle cap?
Oh, okay. Smells good.
Yeah.
Would you like to taste it first?
Would you taste it for us, please?
Ooh. Excellent choice.
It's not hard to love this movie. So if we go to the Internet Movie Database, we've got the Australian release date at 1979, December 13th. That means the whole year I saw no movies. Not a single one at the cinema that I can recall. When I looked through the list of all the 1979 movies, I didn't see anything except for this one movie. And that's why it would have been a special time, because, wow, I'm finally going to the movies again. I hadn't seen a movie since Star Wars. Star Wars, yes, it's a big benchmark to try and beat, but I wasn't disappointed in the Muppet Movie. It was good fun. And the general consensus is that the Muppet Movie is a good movie. Out of 38,000 votes on IMDb, it ranks as a 7.6 out of 10, which is above average, I reckon. It was nominated for 2 Oscars and didn't win them, but that was for Best Music Original Song, The Rainbow Connection, and also the Best Music Original Score was also nominated, but didn't win. So let's read, what does the blurb say? It says, Kermit and his newfound friends trek across America to find success in Hollywood, but a frog legs merchant is after Kermit. Anyway, that's it for this episode. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all those things, because then you can, jump on board and join this journey with me as I reminisce, as I go through literally every movie that I watch, my cinema experience. Not just watched on TV doesn't count, on VHS doesn't count. We're talking about the cinematic experience of being in that dark cinema room with the giant big screen and appreciating the cinematic art form for all that it is. Every movie that's shown in a cinema, always hundreds of people have had to work hard at getting the sound right, the music right, the script right, the camera work right, the lighting. It's such you think about it, you could have a bad script, but the visuals might be beautiful. Still, there's something to appreciate. There are some films that are just outright bad films, but that experience of going to the cinema is something special, no matter what you're watching. Anyway, love you all. Don't forget, hit that like button. Catch you next time.